Hello and welcome to Premier League Game Week 2 predictions. There's some big games this weekend. Manchester City versus Spurs, West Ham, Chelsea Friday night, for the Man United on Sunday as well. So yeah, if you don't like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And let's just dive straight into my Game Week 2 predictions for this weekend's Premier League action. So we start on Friday night then, where West Ham United take on Chelsea. West Ham had a really disappointing opening game, of course, losing 3-0 away at Sunderland. Of course, Chelsea drawing at home to Palace, another disappointing result for them. So both sides will be looking to win this one. It's at the London Stadium. Chelsea, correct me if I'm wrong, have only won here like once or twice in the last few years. That was last season. I think they've been battered before. They always struggle here, do Chelsea, apart from last season, but West Ham were in a bit of bother last season. So yeah, an upset could happen here. Graham Potter's side, I think he's got the players, he's got the tools, but I just can't think he can't get side playing any good football at the moment, and that is the problem. For West Ham United, sitting 19th in the Premier League, only after one game, of course, doesn't really matter. I am going to back Chelsea in this one, though, just because I think they're going to have too much quality. Jan Pedro up front, Cole Palmer, etc. So yeah, Chelsea win this 2-1 in my opinion, and over West Ham United at the London Stadium. 2-1 to Chelsea here. And then into a blockbuster 12:30 kickoff, and it is Manchester City against Tottenham. This game might be closer than people expect due to Tottenham's good form recently of drawing against PSG and then losing on penalties. They should have won that game and then beat Burnley 3-0 as well. City beat absolutely dominated and dispatched Wolves to the shops, didn't they, by smashing them by 4-0. Last season was a 4-0 win, of course, for Tottenham. Don't think it's going to be the same this time around. City do have a lot of players out. No Rodri, of course, no Savinho, no Foden, no Kovacic, no Gvardiol, who's doubtful. Edison's doubtful as well with an illness. No Kulusevski, no Maddison, maybe no Udogie as well. So there's problems in there for Spurs as well. But I think Manchester City will just get over the line in this one. I am actually going to back them quite convincingly because I just think Thomas Frank's getting to know his ideas, even though they did look good in the Super Cup, of course. But I'm going to bet Man City to win this by 3-1. They are very goal heavy at the moment. City, so yeah, I'm backing them to win by 3-1 in this one, and win convincingly here. Into the one of 3-o'clockers then, as Bournemouth take on Wolves. Both sides conceding 4 goals on opening game week, and they'll be looking to bounce back a lot stronger than what they did the week. Last time they did play in the Premier League was a 4-2 win for Bournemouth at Wolves, and then a 1-0 win for Wolves at Bournemouth when Bournemouth went through that rough patch in around February time. Justin Cliver is still doubtful for this one, and as Unai early October with an ACL, that is mainly maybe no Ryan Christie or Lewis Cook either. So yeah, that might be a problem for Bournemouth in this one, but I think they showed enough quality with Semenyo in that game that they'll be fine this for another season, and Iraola is a top coach anyway for Bournemouth. I think they're going to win this. I'm going to go for a nice 2-0 home victory for AFC Bournemouth over Wolverhampton Wanderers in this one. And more misery on Vitor Pereira and Wolves. It's not him. It's the players that don't seem to be playing in him for him. But I think Bournemouth win this by 2-0 quite comfortably over Wolves. And then Brentford take on Aston Villa at 3:00 as well. Brentford really look poor, don't they, after that 3-1 defeat away at Nottingham Forest on the weekend. Aston Villa, a 0-0 draw at home to Newcastle, was a bit of a cagey affair, that one. No Isak in that one. We'll jump onto that when we talk about Newcastle. Head-to-heads last season, I think it was a 2-2 draw. No, that was the season, but was it even a 2-2? No, it was 1-0 win for Aston Villa and then 3-1 bit back in December, of course. I think Brentford will be looking to win this one. First home game of the season for them under Keith Andrews. I don't rate him as a coach. I could definitely see them struggling in this one. All the Johan Wissa stuff that's going on as well. They could definitely have some issues. Villa themselves are very well drilled under Unai Emery. They weren't great in that first game, but against the Brentford side that do look really poor, I could see Villa doing really well here. And I'm going to back the Villa to win this one. I'm going to go for a nice 3-1 away victory for Aston Villa over Brentford in this one. Quite convincing win for Aston Villa in this one. And Brentford have more doom and gloom under Keith Andrews. And then 2 of the newly promoted sides face off as Burnley take on Sunderland. Burnley lost 3-0 to Spurs on opening day. Sunderland beat West Ham by 3-0, didn't they? Quite convincingly, and you can already tell which newly promoted side looks like they're going to stay up this season out of these two sides. Last time they did play in the Championship was a 0-0 draw, of course it was, and then a 1-0 win for Sunderland back in August 2024. So yeah, I think Burnley only losing 2 games last season, but yeah, they're going to have a stronger attack if they are to win some of their games in the Premier League. Need to keep an airtight defence. I don't think that's going to happen for them. Unfortunately, I think Sunderland and Reggie Labrie have too much quality in their team at the moment, and that is why I think they will beat Burnley quite convincingly here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Sunderland in this one. I think they'll be quite dominant. Burnley just look absolutely terrible at the moment, but you never know at Turf Moor, they can get the place rocking sometimes. So yeah, back in Sunderland for a nice 2-0 away win over Burnley in this one. Into the 5:30 kickoff we go, and it is Arsenal taking on Leeds. That's right. Arsenal beating Manchester United by 1-0 on the weekend. Of course, Leeds also beating Everton by 1-0. So yeah, this one's a tough one at the Emirates to call. Maybe I think Leeds were quite good defensively against Everton, even though Everton didn't really create a lot in that one. Head-to-heads wise, last time these did play in the Premier League was a 4-1 win for Arsenal back in April 2023, and Arsenal went back in October 2022 quite comfortably as well. No Ben White, probably no Christian Norgard or Gabriel Jesus due to him Jesus having an ACL. This one's going to be, I think, quite convincing for Arsenal in this one. I'm going to back them by 3-0 over Leeds United in this one, and it'll be quite a big win for the Arsenal in this one as they continue their perfect start. So yeah, Arsenal win by 3-0 over Leeds United here. Then into the 2 o'clockers as Crystal Palace take on Nottingham Forest on Sky Sports Plus this one. A 0-0 draw between Palace and Chelsea on opening day as Forest dominated Brentford, who did look really, really poor in that game, didn't they? Last time they played last season was a 1-1 draw, and then before that was a 0-0 draw season before that, and then it was a 1-0 win at Forest last season. I think that these two like to cancel each other out, the two competitive sides in the Premier League, and I think definitely one of them could stay up. That's not the right thing. Push for Europe, that's right. I don't know if Forest can do it this year again, but I definitely think Crystal Palace, if they can do what they did at the back end of last season under Oliver Glasner, then they can definitely get close to Europe in my eyes. Nuno Espirito Santo, Chris Wood still pumping in the goals for Nottingham Forest. As soon as he drops off, I feel like there might be a few issues coming their way. I'm going to back a draw in this one. I'm going to back a 0-0. I'm going to back a bit of a ball fest in this one. I think it'll be quite cagey. I think it'll be quite scrappy. And yeah, I think this should be a really boring game of football. So yeah, back in Palace 0, Forest 0 here. And now the first game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium in Everton as Everton take on Brighton. Of course, Everton will be looking to bounce back from the defeat of Leeds United on Monday night, won't they? Brighton did draw, and Brighton will be looking to respond after that last-minute equaliser conceding that last-minute equaliser against Fulham. Last time they played at Goodison was a 3-0 win for Brighton back in August 2024, and that was on opening day. So yeah, they like playing each other at the start of the season, these sides. No Tarek Lamptey, no Solly March, no Julio Enciso, no Adam Webster for Brighton. This one for the Seagulls. Everton at home, first game. Will it be rocking? I'm not sure what the atmosphere is going to be like. I am going to back the Toffees, though, to get over the line. Oh, Jared Branthwaite's still a bit of a big miss, and no Mikalenko. I think I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm going to back the Evertonians in this one. I think they'll get over the line. I think it'll be a nice 2-1 home victory over Brighton, and David Moyes' side get off to a nice start at their new ground. So, yeah, Everton's win by 2-1 over Brighton in this one. Now to the 4:30 kickoff, Fulham taking on Manchester United and Ruben Amorim's side in this one. A 1-1 draw last time out for Fulham, scraping it in the 96th minute with Rodrigo Muniz, of course. Arsenal did beat Manchester United. Arsenal did beat Manchester United. United did lose that one, but looked okay and looked good. And I think they might be okay to win this one away at the Cottage. They have won here 1-0, or yeah, 1-0 on the past two occasions they have been to Craven Cottage in November 23 and 26th of January this year. I think it was Alessandro Martinez deflected shot, which was the difference between these two sides back in January. So yeah, I think Man United definitely could get a nice away win at Fulham here. I think I'm going to back them too, just because of their head-to-head record is absolutely insane over Fulham. Fulham have only beaten them once. That was on the 24th of February 2024, which is quite recent, and it shows the decline of Man United. But I'm going to back the Red Devils in this one to get over the line, and I'm going to back Man United for a nice 2-1 away victory at the Cottage in this one. Chris Kavanagh's referee, not really that matters anything, but yeah, Man United to win at the Cottage by 2-1. Now into the Alexander Isak derby, where Newcastle United take on Liverpool. Of course, Newcastle drawing away at Aston Villa, of course, on opening day, and Liverpool being in that goal fest against Bournemouth and winning by 4-2 in this one. Simon Hooper is the referee. We saw all that Alexander Isak stuff last night, but it'll be Friday or Thursday when you are seeing this video. Head-to-heads, last time they play was a nice 3-3 thrilling draw on the 4th of December at St James's. Liverpool, of course, won back at Anfield by 2-0. Yeah, the Alexander Isak stuff, yeah, I'm not sure. I hope for the sake of Newcastle fans that he doesn't go to Liverpool, because if he doesn't go to Liverpool, that would be quite funny. Yeah, I think it will be quite hilarious if he doesn't play all season. But yeah, he wants to move to Liverpool. Can Liverpool get the big bucks, and will Newcastle accept the bid? We'll have to wait in a matter of days. Prediction on this one, though. Going to back a... Well, what goes on here? I'm going to back a 3-2 away win for Liverpool in this one. I think it'll be tight, but I think Liverpool will just get over the line in this one against the Geordies and just narrowly beat them. But yeah, backing Liverpool to win on a second match day by 3-2, and a bit of a goal fest to start their campaign against Bournemouth and Newcastle. So Liverpool to win by 3-2 here. Thank you very much for watching my Game Week 2 predictions for the Premier League for this weekend's matches. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And I'll speak to you on the next one. We're trying to build up to 250, so please do hit the subscribe button. I'll speak to you on the next one.